What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social sphere at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day. Today is Thursday, November 13th. Happy Thursday. Happy Giants week. It's been a few days, right? And I am past the Eagles' loss. I'm past the terrible output by our offense. And this weekend, we've got a chance to hopefully kickstart a little bit of a run as we head into the second half of the season. It doesn't look great as of right now, as far as what we put out there so far this year on the football field. But remember, back in 2023, Jordan Love's first year as a starter, at this very point in that season, we were 3-6. And I can admit, I thought we were done. And I mean, just absolutely done. But as we all know, we went on a run. We made the playoffs, right? And stopped the 2-seed Cowboys team in Dallas and came up just shy of beating the 49ers, who would end up going to the Super Bowl and losing to the Chiefs in overtime. And I know we don't celebrate divisional round appearances around here, right? But the point is that we don't know what's going to happen over the next 8 weeks. A lot of things can change for better and for worse. So hopefully it is for the better. And it starts this weekend with the Giants in New York. Jameis Winston is getting the nod for the Giants at quarterback, and hopefully we get the bad version of Jameis and not the version that he's been playing or that he's been when he's played us. In his 2 career games against the Packers, he's got 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, believe it or not. So we've got to be able to take the ball away from him on Sunday. All right, a couple practice updates here from practice today. Lucas Van Ness is back at practice for the first time since injuring his foot during the Bengals game over a month ago. So some more help coming to the defensive line group. And Matthew Golden also back at practice after missing Monday's game with a shoulder injury. So the only person not practicing on the 53-man roster was Nate Hobbs, who we all know will be missing some time with the MCL injury that he suffered against the Panthers. Christian Watson was listed as limited, and he said he's fine. He's not injured, just a little bit sore. And he said after practice today that he will be playing on Sunday, so no worries there. And also, Marshawn Lloyd and Jaden Reed were reportedly working pretty hard in the rehab group. So a confirmation that Lloyd is indeed back with the team after being sent out west to get his body right. So something good must have came out of that. I'm not holding my breath with Lloyd, but maybe, just maybe, we'll get to see him on the field at some point during his Packers career. All right, if you're planning to go to a Packers game this year, maybe you're planning a trip to New York this weekend, seeing the Pack take on the Giants in New York, the Meadowlands. Maybe you want to come to the Vikings game at Lambeau next weekend, or who knows, maybe the Ravens game the last week of the year. Do not buy your tickets anywhere else other than TickPick. They guarantee the cheapest Packers tickets on the market, and if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will refund you 110% of your money back. The same tickets as everybody else: StubHub, SeatGeek, Ticketmaster, all of those guys. And TickPick is the cheapest every single time. Use the code Packers22 for an extra $22 off the already cheapest tickets on the market. Shout out to TickPick. I appreciate their partnership with myself. I use them every time I go to a game. I use them every time I go to anything non-Packers as well. Love those guys. They are the best in the biz. Let's hop into the comment section here, shall we? And as always, if you want to be a part of the show, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 319-242-2332. Family owned and operated since 2007 with decades of combined legal experience. Nicolet Law's team of compassionate local attorneys are prepared to meet your unique legal challenges head on. Nicolet Law has just shy of 2,000 five-star reviews, and they have helped their clients recover over $350 million in the last 17 years that they have been in business. Injured, get Nicolet. My man Rakeem cooking it up in the chat early. What's up, Rob? I feel that some of the problems with our team comes from lack of veteran presence on our team. Draft picks are cool, but in my opinion, to really be able to compete, we need veterans. Rakeem, that's an interesting observation, and there's definitely some truth to that. Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft, Josh Jacobs, they've all kind of elevated themselves into leadership roles, especially Tucker Kraft. That's why he's got the captain's patch on the jersey. But Tucker's down, so that's 1/3 of your leadership just right there. And yeah, there's not many old guys on the team, right? We are still one of the youngest teams in the NFL. Coach talked this offseason about Jordan Love really needing to take a step forward in being a leader, being a voice in that locker room. And he said he's done a pretty good job of it. But there's price and merit to your comment. It's hard to really know, right, without being in there and being able to really feel the vibe. But yeah, I'm with you, Rakeem. Thank you for hopping in. Appreciate you, my brother. What else we got? Ryan, why are we sticking with McManus? It does not make sense. That is a valid question. He's 39th out of 39 kickers in field goal percentage this year. He's missed some big-time kicks that have frankly have cost us games. And all of this happening, and we've got Lucas Haversick sitting on the bench. So there's not much really more to talk about, honestly, because Coach reiterated yesterday that Brandon is the guy moving forward. And unless he has a catastrophic game, I don't see that changing either. So nothing to really talk about on the kicker front. Coach put a nail in there and basically said Brandon's our guy. So ride or die, I suppose, right? Thank you, Ryan. Lauren, first Tucker, now Elton. Injuries are hitting hard. Yeah, Lauren, Elton Jenkins, although he hasn't played his best, still a big loss. And Sean Ryan did step in and do a decent job, I thought, for the most part on Monday night. But Elton being done for most likely the year is tough because he's probably not playing in Green Bay next season. So we have most likely seen the last of Jenkins, who at one point was a Pro Bowl guard, and we paid him a pretty big bag because of those seasons. So for whatever reason, we had to move him to center. And one thing is for sure, that's that we cannot afford any more injuries along the offensive line. I think that's pretty obvious, right? It's a struggling group, and it's been hard to watch, but they got to figure something out. They got to figure something out quick. Otherwise, we're going to be in for a lot of hurting over the next few weeks. Thank you, Lauren. Jesse, trap game? I don't believe in trap games, Jesse. I do think this is a must-win game, though. If you can't beat the Giants with Jameis Winston at quarterback, an interim head coach after Dabble was just fired this week, then we really got to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, are the expectations that we have for this team realistic? Because if we lose to the Giants, I'm going to probably say probably not. But I think we get it done, and I'm thinking a get-right game for us on Sunday that'll hopefully spark a little bit of a run because our next 4 games are going to be a pretty good test. Giants this weekend, Vikings at home the following weekend, then Detroit for Thanksgiving, and then back at home against the Bears. So 3 of the 4 games are divisional games. All 4 of them are NFC games. And if we can rattle off a few wins, especially against the Vikings, Lions, or Bears, then we'll be sitting pretty good in December with the playoffs right around the corner. But if we don't, we're going to bury ourselves pretty good. So we gotta get some wins here and just show up, play the ball that we got to watch in week 1 and 2, please. I'm begging you. King AJ, does the whole Jeff Hafley for a head coach rumor next year worry you at all? Swear if we lose him before Rich Bisaccia, I'm going to lose it. Also, thoughts on the free agent signing so far? Hobbs, Banks, King AJ. The Hobbs and Banks signings are looking terrible, right? Aaron Banks has not been good, to put it lightly. And Nate Hobbs hasn't even been on the field. So, and when he has been on the field, it hasn't been good. So far, an F for Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs. So not good for Brian Goody on those two guys. But the Jeff Hafley rumor for head coach doesn't necessarily worry me really, because I've already kind of come to the the realization that he's probably going to be gone, which that means he's doing a good job for us, and that's all fine and dandy. But I would like to win a Lombardi before we lose him. And like you said, if we lose Jeff Hafley before we lose Rich Bisaccia, I'll be a little upset as well. I'm over Rich. He's the highest paid special teams coordinator in the league. He's also our assistant head coach. So those people who do want LaFleur fired, Rich Bisaccia is probably going to be the interim head coach if that were to ever happen, which it won't. But just an FYI for those who are on the fire LaFleur train. You really want Rich Bisaccia taking over? I definitely don't. So thank you, King AJ. Appreciate you. Nick, no excuses for Sunday. We've got to dominate. I agree, and I think we will. We're due for a big game out of Micah Parsons and or Rashawn Gary. Those guys didn't have a ton of chances on Monday night as far as true pass sets. So no screenplays, no RPOs, actual passing downs. There were only 13 of them total. And Micah Parsons still had 5 pressures out of those 13 plays. So pretty dang good. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always, always, always love talking Packers with you guys. Hit me up on social media at GPP Daily. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Any sort of interaction helps myself and helps the page. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.